Well, good evening everybody. My name's Nia Singleton. I'm the Community Liaison Manager for Tata Steel in Wales. I just want to welcome you to Tata Steel this evening. Thank you very much for making the time to come to the Richard Burton presentation evening. I know for those of you, I know there are familiar faces, so for those of you who have been here in previous years, it will sound a bit like a stuck record, because I do say this every time. It's been the most successful race we've ever had. But really it is. It's the most successful race in the 34-year history of the Richard Burton race. This year we had 1,100 runners registered to run the race. And importantly, really importantly, through the fun run, which this year saw 350 young people take part, is giving local youngsters the opportunity, and for lots of them the first opportunity, to take part in a race and to run, you know, in a competitive sort of way. So as always, the race does give back to local charities, and tonight over £8,000 is going to be handed out to local charities. So the representatives from the charities, they're here, you're all here tonight, and I would call each of you up onto the stage, and it's your opportunity, should you want to take it, to promote your charity, maybe perhaps say a couple of words about what you're going to utilise your donation towards. This race was also the first time the Port Talbot Harriers have been involved in a sort of organisational capacity. So thank you to the Port Talbot Harriers. So tonight is going to be informal, and I'm hoping that you're not going to be here long. I know you've all got family and lives, and you know you've got an evening that you want to get back to. So without further ado, I'm going to call up the first charity of our evening, and it will be the Mountain Rescue. So can I call up Andrew Evans, please, to represent the Mountain Rescue?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I represent Western Beacon's Mountain Search and Rescue Team, and we cover the whole of the western side of the Brecon Beacons, all the way down as far as Haverfordwest and Fishguard, and up as far as Aberaeron. And we've been established for over 50 years, and we're a charity in based in Bridgend. And you know, we know how hard it is to raise funds when you've got full-time jobs and volunteer services. We're on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And it costs our team £24,000 a year just to remain active. So we're always looking for support. We're always looking for new members. Anybody that's interested in ever joining, coming and give us some support or donations, then we'd gladly welcome you and receive anything that you've got in time or funds. And you do that by finding out Western Beacons, Mountain Search and Rescue Team, and you can find us on Facebook, or just search the web and you'll find us there. So thank you for that opportunity, and thank you, Sean, for a great opportunity.
Thank you, Andrew. Can I now call up Keevy Spencer from Carmarthen Scouts, please?
Thank you very much, first of all. We did ask the Scouts if they were willing to volunteer to help out marshalling the course, and it was hands up. We haven't been going for long, Carmarthen Scouts. It's only been about 2.5 years. When we first started, we had 2 Scouts turn up. One of them was my daughter, sort of a bit reluctantly. But since then, we've gone from strength to strength. We have sort of 18 regular Scouts that turn up. And it's just a chance for them to sort of try new things. Very generous donation, thank you very much. The money we're hoping will go towards a new Scout hut, because at the moment we are borrowing the church hall in Carmarthen, and it's brilliant for now, but of course we'd like something a bit more sort of rough and ready, so we can have a fire at the back and go camping where we want, something like that. So thank you very much.
Hannah Tobin to make a special presentation.
I'd actually want to introduce my next presentation. Brett and Rasheen, I worked with them in the Department of Works and Pensions, and they have a little girl, as you can see. She's 18 months old, her name is Aphie, and unfortunately she is quadriplegic cerebral palsy. She has some element of brain damage, and she is registered blind. They need to raise much needed funds to have house adaptations. When we heard about their story, we felt, well, we wanted to help them, and so I'd like to call upon Brett to come up and accept our cheque and a fee as well.
Yeah, so just a quick one from me. Thank you very much, Anna and Sean. It came out of the blue, to be honest. We've only started fundraising sort of the last month. We've already raised 10% towards our goal. And the response we've had from community people, people we've never even spoken to already, just through the power of social media and reaching new people. So yeah, I just want to thank you all for your kind donation and help. Thank you.
When you have time, I'd like you to go onto their Facebook page. It's All for Athey. They will be having fundraising events. In particular, there's a provisional date, 7th of April at Blanco's. And any local businesses are here. They are looking for raffle prizes, and of course they will need much support. So thanks everyone for listening. Thank you.
Okay, if I can call up then next, Anthony Bay for my State Gleeman.
You're going to sing, I think. Unfortunately, Anthony's caught in work tonight. So my name is John Wines. I'm the secretary of the My State Gleeman. 99% of the work that we do is to raise funds for different charities. So I'll have a word with that gentleman over there later on, and we'll see if we can do something to help him out. We enjoy doing it. We enjoyed doing the run last year and this year, and we just wanted ourselves to go and do something better. Thank you very much.
Next, if I could call up a representative for the Girl Guides, please. Nicola and Caris Richards.
Just like to say thank you for our donation. Brownies have been in Carmarthen since about 1960, but we are a relatively new guide group since about the last 5 years. So resources are very tight at the moment, so this donation is a big help to us. And we'll go towards the girls going to camp and to providing their own tents and camping equipment. And we like to promote the outdoors with them and try and get them to go on as many different opportunities as we can. And we've got a big camp coming up next year, so that will be some of the donations going towards that. So I'd like to say thank you very much.
Right, if I could call up Chris Jenkins from Pontypridd Rugby Football Club, please.
Evening, I'm Dennis Roberts. I'm Chairman and Secretary of Pontypridd Rugby. This money is going towards the junior section of the club. It's funds they desperately need. So once again, thank you, Sean, and thanks for everybody who ran in the Richard Burton Fund Run. Thanks very much.
Next, if I could call up Martin Hines from Carmarthen Rugby Football Club.
Yeah, just a few words to be fair. First of all, thank you to Sean and Anna and Tata Steel for this kind donation. As part of Carmarthen RFC, minis and junior section, I'm secretary of the juniors. We've got 180 players, boys and girls, in our section at the moment, and all actively playing and training week in, week out. So it's a real outlet for them, keeping them off the streets and keeping them fit as well. So this will go towards new equipment for the kids. Thank you very much.
There's also a young boy in Carmarthen, and Martin sort of looks after him a lot. He does a lot of work. Even though he's got 6 children of his own. He's a busy boy. Yeah. But he's taken his child under his wing. So when we heard the story, we wanted to make a donation so that the child can come to his matches dressed in all the gear. But it's thanks to the likes of people like Martin that this child has been identified. So, thank you, Martin.
Okay.
I think Anna just hit it all on the head with there, really. This boy, he's a very special boy, and it's given him his opportunity in life. It's keeping him from getting into trouble. He's got respect from his peer group. He's a very talented player, so hopefully one day when he's rich, he'll look after me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. If I can call up Peter Ross and Chris Allen from the YMCA Explorer Scouts next, please.
First off, I'd just like to thank Sean and Tartar Steel for the donation. And it's actually to the Port Talbot YMCA Adventure Club. Slight mistake, I suppose. Our Adventure Club is very small, but it's quite an important part of our charity. Its main focus is to give children and young people in the Port Talbot area the opportunity to participate in a range of indoor and outdoor adventurous activities. Quite often, to take part in these activities is quite expensive and out of the pocket of some families. Having a dedicated group of volunteer instructors allows us to keep our costs right down to make them affordable to the families in our area. And this donation will go towards more equipment that will enable us to keep these prices down to that good level. So thank you very much.
Okay, if I could call up Nigel Davis from Carmarthen Hornets Boxing Club, please.
First of all, I'd like to thank Tata and Sean and everyone involved with the Richard Burton run. I'm not going to be here long, I'm just going to thank everybody for inviting us here and giving us this donation. It'll go a long way. We've got boys boxing in London next week, fund the trip, and also a lot of our punch bags they taped up. We've been there 20 odd years, and we could do with some new bags and equipment. They're breaking down all the time. That's all. Thank you.
If I could call up Councillor David Whitelock for crack, please. Oh, no, sorry, Michelle Smith and Louise Hopkins for crack. Sorry. David, you were next. No, sorry, David. Come on down.
I'd like to thank Sean Committee and Tartar Steel for this. CRAC actually stands for Carmarthen Residents Action Committee. Money to be used this weekend is one of the biggest weekends in our calendar. It's a Carmarthen Christmas cracker. We have a fete in the afternoon for the not so young. The evening then we have Santa going around the village on a sleigh, and all the children are turning up to get a present off Santa, and I'd leave you guess who Santa is. Santa. Santa, yeah.
Right, now as well, if I could call up Captain Beanie, although you're not in Captain Garb today, be our charity.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's very privileged, as usual, to be in your company again. I'd like to thank, obviously, Sean and yourself, Neil, and Tartar Steel for helping our local causes and everything like that. Our local cause, Everybody's Gateway Club, was formed in 1984, transported to provide for transportation to various venues. The money will definitely will keep it going with fuel costs, as you well know, tax and insurance purposes only and everything like that. And the relevance as well with the Gateway Club, I'm actually celebrating 30 years since initially I laid in that bath of baked beans in September 1986. I was a naive 31-year-old then, and I'm a naive 61-year-old now. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for this particular check. Thank you very much.
Right, if I could call up Wendy Cross, please, for the Carmarthen Old Age Group. Now, when I was writing this down, I thought, is that would be the name of it?
Mature
But that's
group.
what I've been given. And I thought,
known as Carmarthen Senior Citizens.
well, that's not I didn't want to go wrong, Wendy, sorry.
I'd just like to say thank you very much to Tata Steel and to Sean. I know how hard it is to organise things. I keep trying to organise things and failing miserably. Hopefully Krakow will be great this weekend. I'm involved in that as well. I mean, we might be old, but we're not disintegrating yet. Thank you very much.
Next, if I could call up Rydian Maisen to accept the cheque on behalf of the Matthew Maisen Charity Trophy, please.
Thanks very much, everyone. Thank you, Sean, Anna, the committee of the Richard Burton organisers and Tata for organising this again. Anybody knows the money that we raise is spent in the village of Carmarthen, because Matthew was played rugby for Carmarthen and he was a village postman as well. So all the money we raise is spent in the village, or used in the village rather. We got some in a pot, Gavin. If you want to see me after, we can put some money towards that scout hut, okay? And the guides can have a little bit to help them with their tents as well. So just see me and then that's it.
If I could call up Phil Morgan from Carmarthen Welfare, please.
What's better looking?
If I could call up Karen Hamer, please.
I can just say, Karen's son, James, unfortunately has muscular dystrophy because they need a lot of funding, and we're honoured that you always attend here, and I know you're always grateful. So, thank you. Sorry, we didn't get a phone.
Cheers.
James is 17 and, as Anna said, he's got Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's a very severe muscle wasting disease, and he's unable to care for himself in any way at all. He also has severe curvature of the spine, which means he can only tolerate his wheelchair for about 4 hours a day. So he spends a lot of his time in bed. So this money goes towards giving him extra special things to give him better quality of life. So thank you, Sean and Anna, and everybody involved. Thank you.
If I could call up next Councillor Marion Lewis on behalf of Carmarthen Swimming Club.
Right, I'd like to thank Sean and Anna and all the committee for this money, because we've started up a group in August called So and So. We're setting up a course as well to train people in sewing machine skills. But the most important thing is any money we raise over and above our general expenses, the rent of our rooms and things like that, goes to charity. And the charities are Snack and Everybody's Gateway Club. People with other problems, right, need the likes of Everybody's Gateway Club. They need the support of these people, because they're all volunteers. And 1 week of every year, they take these adults away on holiday. They're from the age of the 20s to 70. And people forget this. But also, what they also do, which I feel very strongly about, they protect them. Because there's so many people out there will take advantage of people with disabilities, learning difficulties and that. They take advantage of them. What Rachel and I are doing, we are making gifts up so they can raffle them, so they can make money that way, and hopefully next year we will make a lot more money and we can give it to them. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Next, if I could call up Geraint Jenkins and Darren Richards from the charities, please.
Just a few words. First of all, thanks very much to Tata, to Sean and Anna and all the committee for all your help and support. I want to just point out the reason I wanted Geraint to take the cheque is the amount of work that Geraint put into this race was absolutely phenomenal. And the organisation. When Sean asked us to be involved, it was a real serious undertaking, and Geraint stood up to it and organised the marshals absolutely fabulously on the day. It was absolutely superb. Delighted to say that we put out over 50, 60 marshals on the day, and some like 60 plus competitors who raced on that day. The astonishing thing is that only 2.5 years ago we only had 47 members. So if you do the sums, you'll know that we've changed dramatically. We started the beginners group, we identified in the community that lots of people wanted to run but they were scared to, they needed support and encouragement. So we undertook some coaching qualifications, and we changed the club from 47 members to over 100 in the first 6 months. Since then we've doubled again to 200 last year, and in January we started a triathlon section, and we now stand at 250 members. Our biggest problem, unfortunately, is that we don't have any accommodation. And as of that check, that is the start of our Building for the Future Fund, which we're hoping will help us to get some accommodation to accommodate people on the worst of winter's nights, which we occasionally have, as you all know, and help the club grow even further still. There's a demand in the community. There are people who really want to be fitter, want to lead a healthier lifestyle, and set really good examples for our children and our families, and we're just going to try and do our bit, and continue to do our bit, to help the community do that. So thank you all very much.
Now we're nearly coming to the end of the evening. If I can call up Anna Tobin, who will now present the cheque to the last remaining sort of individual recipients. As part of the ethos of the Richard Burton, it is all about giving back into the community. And also, the race was started because, unfortunately, 3 boys were killed, and it was started as a fun run in order to help their families. And in particular this year, there have been 3 families in the last year who have been lost and who have left behind young children. I'm talking about teenagers and younger than that again. Now, myself and Sean went to visit 2 of these families last night and handed over cheques to the children. They were absolutely astounded that we would think about them. But we do think about them on a personal level and as a committee, because they aren't asking for anything, and they might not need anything, but they are suffering, and particularly this time of year, these children are missing a parent. We haven't invited them tonight. We don't want to publicise their names. If you are from Carmarthen, you probably know who they are, but £500 was given out last night to these 3 families. Sorry, in fact, I stand corrected, it was actually 600, and we're glad to have done that. Also, as part of the Richard Burton, we have the Lisa Hitchens Memorial Trophy. Now, Lisa was mine and Sean's very close friend, who sadly died last year. And last year, Carmarthen RFC won that, and they donated their £250, which we give as part of the prize, to a local youngster. This year, there was the Brit Pub, if any of you know it, and it's run by Heidel and Phil, and their ethos is also in line with ours, and it's all about putting back into the community. They then won the Lisa Hitchens Trophy, which they proudly display in their pub.
and they also had £250 to donate to the charity of their choice. So I'd like to call up Heidi and Phil, please.
Hopefully you can hear me. I've had a bit of a cold and I've been working as well, so it keeps going. My husband's probably glad of that, but thanks very much. We do want to try and help as much as we can. Any charity events and things in our local community and try and give back. The reason that we really wanted the group money from Tata Steel was for a local lady. They had to make a very heartbreaking decision when she was pregnant with her second child. To either, basically she gave her life for the life of her child because she had secondary breast cancer, and she could have chosen to terminate the life of the child and have treatment, but she gave her life for her little baby. And the money that we were hoping to raise would be towards life-extending drugs. So she can't be around forever, sadly, for her family, but hopefully the drugs that she could get that aren't available through the Welsh NHS could actually give her much needed time with her family. As you can imagine, 2 young children, it's a cruel world that would take a parent away from a family like that. But we were really glad that we could raise some money for such a local cause. Okay, thanks guys.
Now, I do want to say a few words, and I know people are saying thanks to Sean and Anna and the committee. Not all the committee can be here today, but it isn't only a committee. There's a whole group of volunteers that put this event on. When Sean, obviously worried about the Richard Burton, approached Tata, he didn't even have to beg, he didn't have to plead. He was absolutely, that race is going to go ahead. So thank you so much to Tata, because honestly, I mean, I have said this about, I don't know how many times, but it really is, without you, this wouldn't be put on. So thank you so much, and we have got quite a few people here from Tata, and thank you for that support. And your partners, Harsco, again, they provided the water this year. Runtech provided a van for Sean. And it's this unsung help. My biggest thank has to go to the volunteers and the committee. We do notice, and we are appreciative, and you really all pull it together on the day. That day, on the 5th, 6th of November, went absolutely perfect. There was no hitches, there was no complaints, there was no problems, and it was down to the volunteers, the committee, and Port Talbot Harriers, who were just absolutely amazing. So I really just wanted to say thank you. I also want to thank my husband for having the guts to do it, because it does take a lot of time. Welsh cakes. Welsh cakes. You're reminding me now about Tana Gross Bakery, actually. Yes. The Tana Gross Bakery were there every single time, providing us with Welsh cakes, you know. But, put me off track now. But what I wanted to say is that this race is all about giving back. The race costs about 10,000 to put on, and probably more, probably more, because if our volunteers and our helpers were to be paid for their time, it costs an awful lot more. And we look forward to working with Tata again. We do hope that you will support us, and we hope that we can increase the publicity and the awareness of this race through its employees. So thank you.
I knew there was a reason I married her, so I didn't have to make speeches. I don't have to say anything really now, but thanks everybody the committee have been fantastic. At one point, the entries were coming in, and I thought we were going to, the committee, we were going to buy Tata out. There was so much money coming in. Anyway, we need to keep it alive because we need things in the community, and the support from Tata and from, you know, Martin Brunnock here, Nick Leyland tonight, Frank Arnold. Thanks for coming because we really appreciate the support. And thanks for supporting us, and may long it continue, really. Thanks very much.
Nothing further to add. I don't think I could say it any better myself. So thank you all very much for coming. Please do stay if you want another Welsh cake, but and have a safe journey home. Thank you.
Yeah.